taking a look at what I would call a high-end Microbrand. It's powered by a Sellita SW300, not the run-of-the-mill 200, and it also gets an upgraded case and bracelet, something that's actually kind of bespoke for this watch. And it also gets a beautiful dial that is very different from the run-of-the-mill Microbrand. So let's flip the camera and take a look at a higher end Microbrand from Typsim. So it was a while ago when I featured the prototype version of this watch on my channel. That was the 200C, the chronometer certified version that had a gold relief dial. This gets a silver relief dial, and it is not chronometer certified. So this still gets the Sellita SW300. So there's a lot that I loved about that prototype. One of those things is obviously the movement. They put a Sellita SW300 in this watch rather than the standard 200 that a lot of other brands used, and it kind of showed me that they cared a little bit more and they went the extra mile and put a nicer movement in here. They also put a really nice bracelet on here, something very different again from the average Microbrand bracelet. It is a rivet look or rivet style bracelet. Some of these are functional, and then it is brushed and polished on the top. It's a multi-link bracelet, very vintage looking and sort of vintage feeling, and they did a really good job with that. They also put a very nice buckle on here, which is very vintage style as well. You have brushing down the middle, you have their logo, which is a moisture indicator, very similar to the one that is my logo for my channel. And you have also polishing, and it's polished on the sides. You get 3 positions of micro adjust. It's a very small buckle. I don't think they could have fit much more. It is milled. The original version that I had on my channel was not milled, so I'm really happy that they upgraded this. They said they would, and obviously they delivered. You have a solid case back, just gives you information on the watch. It is polished and it is brushed. You have a ring of polish, just says how many meters water resistance. It's 200, and then it also is out of 300 because this is a 300 piece limited edition. You get solid end links, obviously a big screwed in crown that again gets that logo right there, and it is a big solid screwed in crown. I'm going to let you listen to the crown when I unscrew it, because the click that you get from it tells you that this watch is well made. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Polishing on the sides, you have a really nice, very grippy bezel on here. Let's listen to the action. Really nice. Everything lines up. Domed acrylic crystal on that bezel. Then you have a boxed acrylic crystal with a cyclops, again acrylic, for the crystal on here. So very warm, very clear. You don't really need AR coating with an acrylic crystal, and that's evident right here. You could see it looks great. You also get that silver gilt dial. I don't know if gilt is really what you want to call it. Maybe silver relief dial is what you would call it. And you get that basically as the minute track, and then you get that around each one of the indices. It also says automatic in that relief, and then of course the name of the brand, Typsim, at the 12 o'clock, right below the 12 o'clock. You have sword hands, and then you have a little bit of an arrow hand, and that is loomed. So the hands are loomed, the indices are loomed. I'm not sure if the bezel is loomed. I don't remember. We will do a loom shot towards the end of the video and check that out. Now, it does remind me of a 50 fathoms. I think that's not, unintentional. I think they meant to do that. And it also sort of reminds me of a vintage style, vintage sort of looking Submariner. I don't think it looks very much like a Submariner, but it gives you that vibe a little bit because of the cyclops and that black dial. It's a matte black dial. Well, actually it's a glossy black dial, I should say, sorry. And then you have that big crown. So some of the little elements here remind me of Rolex, but mostly you get 50 fathoms. So let's listen to the crown action on here. I'm going to unscrew the crown and listen for the click. Did you hear that? A very audible click, it popped out very nicely. Obviously it feels really good, and there you go. The date on here in blue, so you have a white background, blue date, so it's printed in blue, matches the logo there at the 12 o'clock. It also matches the 200M right there, 200 meters of water resistance. Really nice screwed in crown, very, very grippy and very easy to use. Dimensions on here are good. So this is around a 40 millimeter watch. It is 40.8. That's at the bezel. At the case, it's 40 millimeters. Actually, it's like 39 millimeters. And then on the crown, 7.3 millimeters. So you have a very large crown on here. Lug to lug is a true lug to lug because you have female end links. You also get drilled lugs. This would look phenomenal on a strap. 47.9 millimeters. And then of course it is thin because you do get a Sellita SW300 in here. So it's 12.6 millimeters. The Sellita SW300 is essentially the equivalent of a 2892 from ETA. So that means that it is their higher end movement, meant to be in higher end watches. So that's what this basically is aiming to do, make itself a little bit more higher end than most of the micro brands that you're used to. So very quickly, let me throw it on my wrist, and then we will do a quick lume shot. We'll also talk about price while I have it on my wrist. Today I have on a watch that actually features a 2824. So this has a lower grade movement than this watch, and it is actually a lot more expensive. So when you actually purchase this on the open market, when it was actually brand new, this is in grade 5 titanium, so I have to say that, and it also is a 1,000 meter dive watch, and it has some pretty crazy lume on it, but this was around $4,000. That's with the titanium bracelet that does not fit directly to the case. I love this watch though, and for a 1,000 meter dive watch, it's pretty thin, and it has a really cool case on it. I love the crab lugs on here. It's really grown on me. All in all, just a pretty cool watch. But I mean, it sort of highlights how good of a value this watch is at $1,200. So that's what this is. $1,199 is what they have it on their website. But you know, you're getting that upgraded movement. You have a beautiful bracelet on here, and I mean gorgeous bracelet that isn't your typical micro brand bracelet. It's not something off the shelf. They did something really different with it. Also the movement, then of course you have the acrylic crystal, you have the acrylic domed bezel, just really nice. They did a great job with this watch. The crown is amazing. I am very, very impressed with the quality overall. I'm very impressed with this watch. So very quickly, let's do a lume shot and then wrap up the video. So really a great move by them. They loomed the bezel on here. Every minute is loomed on that bezel. Excellent job. All of the indices are loomed. You even get a little bit of blue lume in that logo at the 12 o'clock position, and the hands are very liberally applied with lume, and you even get a little bit of lume on the second hand. So everything is very nicely applied, liberally applied with lume. It's bright and very functional. I'm very impressed with this watch. As I mentioned a few times, I feel like they didn't really spare any expense, and you're getting it for around $1,200. You're getting a watch that is really well made with a high grade movement, and obviously you're not paying that very high-end price. I like this. This is really nice. But tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. The only knock that I might give it is the name, Typsim. It's hard to say. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. I don't know. That's probably the only issue that I would say there is with this watch. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. I really like this watch, obviously, because I'm gushing about it because I think it's worth every penny of that $1,200. It's really nice. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of the name? What do you think of the quality? What do you think of them using the SW300? You don't see that very often, like I said, from a micro brand. Pretty cool. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog, all one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Joma Shop. If you click that link, it takes you to my Joma Shop landing page where there are a bunch of watches that I have basically handpicked. Definitely check that page out if you are interested in looking at some watches. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.